Hi everyone, I'm going to continue the series of the Great Oriental Rabbanim, and it's going to be the Hilula here on Yud Chet Tammuz, naturally this year, of Rabbi Yosef Kapach, very well-known Yemenite Rabbi, who actually was born back in 27th of November 1917 and passed away in English calendar date of 21st of July in the year 2000. He was a Dayan and of the Supreme Court in Israel at a later stage, and one of the head leaders of the Yemenite Jewish community in Israel. A lot can be said about him. He actually came from great lineage. His grandfather was a great rabbi, Rabbi Yosef Kapach, also very well known in Yemenite, and his grandfather himself was a very prestigious rabbi and was, let's just say, the founder of a movement called the Dor De'av movement, which were known as the Dardaim, to be precise. And they basically, this movement, they sought to revive the halachic rulings by Maimonides and Rabbi Sadia Gaon also. So it's a very well published and very well reported over in many places, which preceded those of the Shulchan Aruch in their specific communities. They as a general thing, they opposed the study of Kabbalah and Zohar and encouraged even a broad secular education he did. And naturally, later on, we would see that Rabbi Yosef Kapach will win awards in Israel and very much advocated secular studies as a part of a curriculum, which obviously had some people not for that, let's just say, within regards to it. And it did cause some big information, which I won't delve into his grandfather did at the time when he, let's just say, he didn't prescribe to the Kabbalah that was taking place in Yemenite. And I would very much recommend, research about what actually occurred in that stage. But of course, there was some friction in the community in Yemen at that stage in time. Many things were reported over. I would leave you guys to research on that specific thing. Rabbi David Qafih actually passed away, actually was due to anti-Semitism reason, partly, where his son, Rabbi Yosef Kapach, was at a very young age and was beaten up very badly by Arabs and passed away due to the beatings that took place, according to a report. So at a young age also that his mother passed away in 1922, Rabbi Yosef Kapach's mother passed away, and he was raised by his aunt. His aunt's name was Sa'ada Vatshi. Also, and he learned Torah from his grandfather, Rabbi Yosef Kapach, who I related over before. He continued studies and he had to marry at a young age because he was an orphan. There was a rule, I think, in Yemen that orphans, they would have to convert to Muslim or something like that. So he had to marry his young cousin, someone named Bracha, Rabbinit Bracha would become, and after 3 years after being married, he had a son born, David. And in the year 1943, Rabbi Yosef Kapach actually made Aliyah and immigrated to the land of Israel 5 years before the founding of the states, and actually initially studied in Yeshivat Merkaz Harav, the famous yeshiva based in Yerushalayim. And he went to train as a Dayan, as a judge, and was actually appointed in the year 1950 by the Jerusalem Regional Rabbinic Court in a prestigious position as a judge, and later on in 1970 to the Great Rabbinic Court, the Supreme Court over there. And he was actually a member of Israel's Chief Rabbinic Council also, and was considered the president of the Jerusalem Yemenite community, I believe, in the late 60s, and was rewarded actually, as I stated before, he very much saw secular wisdom as also as an important thing. He won the Israel Prize for Torah Literature in the year 1969. We're talking about, from this stage, 54 years back over there. As I stated before, he wrote so many different works, including many of the publications of Rav Sadia Gaon. They say that back in the day when he was a very young kid, him and his grandfather used to collect all the manuscripts of these great Rabbanim. So he actually translated scores of manuscripts from the Sephardi sages to Hebrew. There was many, I'll give many of the publications, including the Amanut Ve'deot, also which was written by Rav Sadia Gaon, also Rabbi Yehuda Halevi's Kuzari, the Chovot Lavovot by Rabbeinu Bakia Eben Pekuda, also Rav Natan's commentary on the 6 books of the Mishnah, and many other works that were written actually in Judeo-Arabic also. Also, as I stated before, his grandfather very much held of Maimonides, and many of the transliteration works he did was actually from Maimonides. For example, he transliterated the Igorot HaRambam, the Guide to the Perplexed. That was one of the things, and the commentary on the Mishnah, known as the Sefer HaMitzvot, and also Milot HaGe'ayon, and he basically wrote annotated editions of the Mishnah Torah in 24 volumes. So it was like hundreds and hundreds of books he had translated, and wrote his own books. And numerous articles he wrote they were compiled in many writings and published in 3 volumes of that, for example. And Rabbi Yosef Kapach was deeply involved in Jewish Yemenite heritage and described the lives and customs of Yemenite Jewry in the book which was known as the Halichot Teman. He also edited the book of the Shivat Zion Tachal, which was a Yemenite Siddur prayer book that also followed Maimonides' original rite, let's just say, as well as Siyach Yerushalayim Siddur, many things. And he passed away in the year 2000, start of the millennium on the 18th of Tammuz, and was actually buried in Jerusalem's Har HaMenuchot cemetery over there. Many other things could be related over to him. Passed away at the age of, I believe it was at the age of 82, naturally in Jerusalem, as I just stated before. And he actually, just to give some synopsis within regards to him, he served in the Bet Din in 1958 of Rav Ovadia Yosef, with Rav Ovadia Yosef, and throughout the half century he was working, he sat with numerous rabbis on the various rabbinical courts. I'll give you a list of this galaxy incredible star of Rabbanim, including Rabbi Tzvi Pesach Frank, Rabbi Yosef Shalom Eliyashiv, also Chacham Ovadia Yosef, and Rabbi Abraham Shapira, and Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu, and the Tzitz Eliezer also. In fact, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef would actually state at one stage that he wrote that the 7 years he actually sat with Rav Qafih, with the Gaon Rav Qafih in the Bet Din, what he considered as 7 good years. And he actually verified himself that Rav Qafih also, he toiled over the Torah study day and night infinitely to such a great amount. So I would very much recommend looking at, there's actually a lot written about him in English online. There's a lot, so it's worth typing in. His name is actually pronounced 2 different ways. So it's Rabbi Yosef Kapach. So some people pronounce it with Kapach as a family name, and some people actually go with a traditional Temani Yemenite spelling of Qafih as a family name. I would write that down in the description of the video, but it is Hilula, 18th of Tammuz. I thought it was very important to do a video on him. And very much you can research. There's a lot written about him online. If I'm not mistaken, also, he was, I forgot to say initially, he was actually from the area called Sana'a in Yemenite, and which was considered Ottoman Empire. He had a prestigious role as a rabbi connected to the Ottoman Empire, which was very much used, as I related over with regards to the Turkey had a rabbi that was connected to the Ottoman Empire. These were people that were liaisoning with the governments and everything else. So I don't know if he himself had that prestigious position, but it was definitely people on his family line that did. Guys, have a great day, and look at the previous videos inside the series of the great Sephardi Rabbanim, and take care and research online.